Hello and welcome to another How to OU at USU. Today's talk or lecture, whatever you want to call these, is titled Components, Snippets, and Assets. Oh my. And with this video, we're just going to kind of talk about what components, snippets, and assets are. And in the next set of videos, we'll kind of dive into each of them and create a couple of them and kind of get a feel for what they are, how they work, and how to use them. But today we're just going to look at definitions and stuff. So let's start with looking at components. So components are, well, they're page elements that are typically too difficult to add to a page without pretty meaningful web programming knowledge. Like you kind of have to know the HTML, the CSS, and the JavaScript to do some of these things. So these are things like images with overlays or hover events, pop-out windows, that sort of stuff. All of those are things that could be a component. And the reason we have components are that they allow us to create otherwise complicated items really quickly, effectively, efficiently, and with ease. They're typically only going to be used on one page, and they're form-based, so that means they're really user-friendly, right? You fill out a form, and then the page element is created. So, and as you can see, OU Campus, the software company that we get our content management system from, defines components as components are form-based type of reusable content that simplifies entering information into complex design elements. So a little bit more complicated, but it's basically what it is it's a way to create what would otherwise be a complicated thing on a page quickly and easily. So that's a component. Up next, snippets. So snippets, all right, they are also predefined code that we can quickly add to a page. Snippets are not form-based. They're predefined code. They're code that the web team has already written for us that we can use to add to a page very quickly. Once it's added to a page, it's a part of that page. And also snippets have these things called table transformations, which are kind of like components. They're this thing where using a simple table format in the back end, we can just fill out a table almost like a form or something, and then it'll get transformed into a more complicated element. And we'll kind of look at why you might use a table transformation snippet over a component and stuff as we get building some of these things. OU Campus defines snippets as snippets are a type of reusable content that once placed on a page become a part of that page's code. So again, kind of some of those ideas. It's something that's already written that makes it easier for us to create pages and elements on pages. And then assets are a little bit more complicated. Okay, so assets are one of two things. They're either an element or an item on a page that is so complicated that it needs its own special definition. So think of like forms, like a contact us form or rotating image gallery, something along those lines. Or they can also be things that are going to be reused a lot. So it could be something really simple, like just a single piece of text, but let's say that exact text exists on several different pages and all of them need to be updated at the same time and say the exact same thing the exact same way. Assets are a way that we could do that. And then we could update just that one asset and get all of those various pages updated at the same time. So, cool. And OU Campus defines assets as assets are a kind of reusable content in OU Campus that takes a single source of content and places it on as many pages as you want. So, same ideas. And with these forms and rotating galleries, these more complicated things, this means that assets do provide you with the option of reusing those. So if you want to have, let's say, 3 pages that have the exact same rotating image gallery for some reason, you can do that with an asset. Or if you need to have multiple pages that have the contact us form, you can do that with assets. Can't really do that with snippets or components. Components and snippets are both more towards using on one page once and then modifying so that it fits your needs, whereas assets are more of a thing that you'll define and then you'll use as needed. So that's kind of what components, snippets, and assets are. In the next couple of videos, like I said, we'll dive into each of them. We'll kind of go over all of the components and snippets and assets, and then we'll kind of nitpick through each of them and kind of get a really good idea of how each of them works and what they can do for us. So cool. Look forward to talking to you about these things in the next couple of videos. Thanks and bye.